everyone! How's life? Do you still having trouble with your listening test? If your answer is yes, then it is the best for you to watch our video till the end. Because we will talking about TOEFL IBT listening strategies. But before we move to the video, we want to inform you that this video was made by Fajrin Salistiani and Ananda Selviana. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is TOEFL IBT? TOEFL IBT is internet-based test. Means that the test has to do in a computer. IBT measure 4 skills. They are reading, listening, writing, and speaking. But for today, we will only focus in listening. Listening session in IBT lasts about 2 until 6 minutes for each audio. Question types in TOEFL IBT listening test. In TOEFL IBT has 7 types of questions in listening session. They are: first, choose content questions. Second, choose purpose questions. Third, detail questions. Fourth, understand organization. Fifth, understand relationship. Sixth, understanding function. And last but not least, understanding speaker's stance. So the first type is choose content questions. The choose content questions ask about the overall content of the conversation. So that's why you need to understand the general topic or main idea. The questions that will be here from this type of question are like this. What problem does the man have? What is the lecture mainly about? What are the speakers mainly discussing? The tips for this kind of questions are use note and eliminate the choices that not fit. Eliminate choices that refers to only small portion of what you have listened to. Second, we have choose purpose questions. Choose purpose questions focus on the purpose of the conversation. The questions that might be appear for this type of question is like this. Why does the student visit the professor? Why does the professor explain X? Why does the student visit the administration office? And the tips that we can give for this kinds of question is identify the reason why he or she doing that. And please remember that the purpose of a conversation is not always related to the conversation main topic. Third, we have detailed questions. This type of questions are typically related directly or indirectly to the gist of the conversation. So that's why it requires to understand and remember explicit details or facts from a conversation. The question for detailed questions could look like this. What result from the invention of the X? According to the professor, what is the one way that X can affect A? According to the professor, what is the main problem with the X theory? Tips for this kind of question are: please refer to your notes and do not distracted by wording. Please remember that you won't be asked about very minor points and the notes that you make should contain the major details from the conversation. But be careful. Do not choose an answer only because it contains some of the words that were used in conversation. Next, we have understand organization. Usually, ask how the ideas are organized. Can ask directly or need to fill in a chart. Therefore, it is necessary to understand the main points and how they are organized, with not just one detail. The question for this type could look like this. How does the professor organize the information about eggs that he presents to the class? Why does the professor discuss eggs? Why does the professor mention eggs? And the tips for the question like this: when you listen, think about how the points are organized.
Okay, the next type is understand a relationship. Usually, ask how the different ideas in the section are related and not directly stated. Because of that, when we are going to answer, we really need to draw a conclusion, predicts, and outcome it first, such as making conclusion or reorganized sequences determining the cause of an effect. The question for the title questions go like this: what is most likely? What is implied or what can be inferred? What are the students most likely supposed to do for X? Okay, tips for a question like this is listen carefully and take some notes. Imagine how the points are related and draw a conclusion. Next type is pragmatic understanding, more subtle understanding of spoken English. There are two types in pragmatic understanding. First is function, the purpose in saying something, or why the speaker says something. Second is speaker stance, attitude towards a particular subject or speaker's feeling about a particular topic. It doesn't deal with the meaning of the words the speaker says, but the information implied by how the speaker said them. Many times the speakers use slangs, idioms, or say things that are not directly relevant to what the question asks. Possible reason is apologize, explain, clarify a point, change a topic, indicate a change of opinions. Identify question is like, listen again to part of the conversation or passage. Why does the speaker say this, or what does the speaker mean? First strategy is listen carefully and think of why the speaker said something. Things that you need to be noticed is listen carefully to intonation and stress, distinguish between literal and pragmatic meanings language, watch out for rhetorical questions, pay attention on repeated words or information. Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question, and you will be here. Man, well, I can see that you are really decided. You're going to make an excellent teacher. Woman, Professor, you mean? What does the woman mean when she says this? Look, when woman says, Professor, you mean? The correct answer is B. She plans to do her PhD and become a professor. Okay, the next type is understanding speaker's stance. Possible feelings is positive or negative, happy or sad, impressed or unimpressed, enthusiastic or worried, doubtful or certain. Identify question. Listen again to part of the conversation or passage and select the sentence that best express how the speaker feels. For example, what attitude does the professor express when he says this? It's hard at this juncture to read this novel and realize that no one had ever done that before because it all seems so strangely familiar. The answer is A. The speaker's stance or attitude toward the book is positive because he thinks no one had ever done that before. Okay, that's our video about TOEFL IBT listening strategies. I hope you understand what our explain. And then thank you for watching.